So my first area, I was assigned to the South San Francisco ward, and that first week I was able to meet a few of the investigators. And one of the investigators I was able to meet was an older man named Oscar Molina. He was an older man from El Salvador, and he was 70 years old, and he had been investigating the church for about 6 months now, and still had struggles. And when I met him, he was kind of, like kind of a grumpy man, and really skeptic about things we were teaching. Wondering, kind of asking deep questions about stuff that either, as a new missionary I didn't know, and but things. But as things progressed, as we kept on meeting with him, we were able to just really be persistent with him, and he was willing to meet us every week, and oftentimes we were able to keep meeting him, and through a couple members we were that were helping as well. We had a member who was on the High Council in the stake, and who became good friends with him. And our ward mission leader was really good friends with Oscar as well, and it was just a really amazing. It was a long process with him, and after probably about 4 months of teaching him, we really thought to ourselves, he's been taught for a while, and we know he's turned down a couple of invitations, but what is he really looking for? And what, and he mentioned in a lot of comments that he was looking for, is a spiritual confirmation. He was looking for, that manifestation that the church is true. And at one time we had a district meeting where we were able to experience a really powerful district training from a couple other missionaries that my companion, who was district leader at the time, invited them to just make a lesson on something to help uplift the district. And it was about the power of music. The power of music, and inviting the Spirit, and especially presenting the simple doctrines with it. And so it was just a really powerful district meeting that we had. And after we had that meeting, we had the opportunity to go and into that lesson later that day, and we sang the hymn "I Believe in Christ," my companion and I. And after we sung that as to open the lesson with a prayer, and we taught some things, and the Spirit was there the whole time, and by the end, Oscar said to us, fellas, I've been thinking about this whole baptism thing, and I want to go through with it. It was just a really amazing feeling. That was just like, there are things that are helping prepare him, and that the Spirit was teaching him. The Spirit was reaching out to him, no matter how many times we would, try and reach out to him, no matter how many words we would say. It was the Spirit that was the ultimate teaching ability there. And about a month later, after preparation, we were able to see him baptized on March 5th, 2011. And it was just a really amazing change in him, because he started out, when I started out meeting him, he was grumpy, he was skeptical, but when I got to meet him and got to know him more, and he got to experience the gospel more and reading the scriptures and praying, he softened up a lot. He became a lot more happy. He had a great sense of humor with things, and it was just really amazing to see that change that the gospel gives. And then about a month before I went home, he went to the temple to receive his endowments, and I was able to go along and be able to accompany him to the temple. And it was just a really amazing feeling, and seeing that change as well. He had grown more in the gospel as well. He was ordained an elder. He was receiving his endowments, and he was really feeling that peace. And it was just a really amazing thing to see, that, and even just to see that long-term strengthening in the gospel. Even though we spent 6 months teaching him,